Mendy's in from the chamber. Hi, Mendy. How are you?
I'm great. How are you?
Fine. How was your weekend? We were talking a little bit before you went on the air. You said that your homestead up in Keokuk, is it Keokuk County? Mm-hmm. 6 inches of rain?
Our friend reported 8. My rain gauge fell over.
Unless it's blowing sideways, it's kind of tough to get a gauge on that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It came really fast. It was monsooning for quite a while.
What I hear, 11 inches in Keokuk down in that area.
Wow.
I know here in Jefferson County, anywhere from 2 to 4. My son had just a skosh over 2 over in Batavia. I don't think it rained nearly that much in Libertyville. But again, if you've checked your rain gauge, email me, steve.smith@alphamediausa.com. Want to remind you to sign up for the Monday morning newsletter, Chamber Chatter, which hits your email box every Monday morning in the 8 o'clock hour. Gives you a quick overview of some of the things happening, not just this week, but into the future as well. You can also log on to fairfieldiowa.com. Check out everything the Chamber has to offer, whether it's Chamber events, community events, business directory, a wealth of information. You can also email them, chamber@fairfieldiowa.com. What is on your calendar this week?
This week is Business After Hours.
Okay.
What's our focus for this week? And then we're getting folks signed up for Leadership Fairfield. The early bird discount was done on Friday, so you can still sign up. It's just $50 more. And we're getting close to a full class. So if you want to get signed up, you definitely want to do so. We've got just under 20, and 25 is my max.
All right. Also, don't forget, we're just a month away from
Barnyard
Bash. So if your organization would like to have a booth and be represented at the Barnyard Bash, again, contact the Chamber, chamber@fairfieldiowa.com, or give them a call, 472-2111. But that is Friday, September 8th. Lots of activities. You can learn more, again, at fairfieldiowa.com.
And right after that, we have Treat Your Appreciation the very next week.
Oh, yeah. I always forget
September is so crazy for us.
First day of school is 3 weeks from today.
Mm-hmm. We got to help those teachers next week.
Yeah.
They need the beverages.
Speaking of good food and good beverages, we invite people to the Carnegie Museum this Thursday. I'll let you take over.
Thank you. Good morning, Miss Gloria Countryman.
Good morning.
I'm so glad that you're here because you are so great at having all of the information for the Carnegie Business After Hours, which are always so much fun. There's 3 layers of fun at the museum.
That's true. Plus, we're adding a layer because we're going to be outside for part of it this time.
Whoa. Okay.
Weather permitting, let's hope. We need the rain, but let's hope it doesn't rain between 4 and 7 on Thursday.
4 and 7 on Thursday. Okay, there's my time.
I'm a very bad board member, but I will take responsibility for the weather on Thursday, Gloria.
Okay,
the one thing in 6 or 7 years that I'll take responsibility for the weather on Thursday afternoon.
Okay, I'm going to hold you to that, Steve. I will be back if it rains.
Oh, you better watch it. Okay, so you have a theme.
Yes, we do. It's the Iowa State Fair. And it's not necessarily the current State Fair, which happens to begin on the same day we are having our Business After Hours. It is the first and second State Fair. And I don't know how many people in Radioland know that we had the first, and second State Fair here in Fairfield. And people are saying, what? Well, if you go down 4th Street to My Lucky Day, the stone used to be right there at the corner, but I think it became kind of a traffic problem. And so they moved it back a little ways to the east on the corner of Grimes and 4th. So that stone, people, if they don't stop and look at it, they may not know what it means. That's where the entrance was to the first and second State Fair.
Oh my goodness! I never knew that.
You just
I've
increased the
tripped
brain
over
cell.
that rock.
Next time you go by that
now
rock,
I'm go
stop
take a
and
picture
look
of it.
at it. Yeah, but that is a commemoration of the first State Fair, particularly.
Nice.
Because this first State Fair was in that area. If you think about it, there were 6 acres of ground that were donated. It's a rectangle line between West Grimes and West Low, and North 2nd and North 4th.
Oh, wow.
So it was a pretty good size. It was 6
Yeah.
acres, so that was pretty good size. And had all kinds of fencing around it to keep animals in, because they had pigs and sheep and horses and some cattle. So it was an agricultural fair, mainly, plus the tradesmen that were in the area had exhibits too. So there were a lot of things going on. And if you come to the museum on Thursday, on the second floor, there will be an exhibit about the state fairs that were here in Fairfield. So it was called, what was the original name of it? Oh, I don't remember. They didn't call it the state fair, just the first annual fair, I think is what they called it. And if you think about it, that time of our Iowa history, the majority of the population in Iowa was on the eastern side. Mm-hmm. So it was considered a success. The first one was considered a big success. They pulled in approximately $1,000. And that was a success in those days when you think 1854.
Absolutely.
And it was such a success, they decided to have a second one the next year. The first one was in September. The second one was in October of 1855. And when you compare the two exhibitions, they found out that the value of it was becoming important enough that it signaled to the formation of an addition to the Iowa State Agricultural Society at that time. So then it moved on from here, of course. But just to give you an example, 8,000 people attended the first one, roughly. And approximately 12,000 people came to the second one.
That's
all right here in Fairfield.
A lot of horse and buggies.
Yes, it would have been. Definitely.
Parking's always a problem.
Yeah, well, it was then too. They had areas for people to park, but they felt that the fair was very, very important to emphasize agriculture, the tradesmen, and the agricultural implement companies that were in the area, which was an important part of the state at that time. So anyway.
So your business after hours is going to have some excitement in it.
Well, we hope so. We hope so. Outside, in front of the museum, we will have some activities. There's going to be a food truck there, just one. Seth Simmons, who has a new food truck, is going to come in, and he's trying to find food that might have been more appropriate for that time. I have no idea what he's come up with, but we'll see. We shall see. He's a very creative person, so I think that will happen. Randy Wood's bringing his kettle corn, so we're going to have two different food sources. It's the people's choice, whatever they want to buy. We're not providing that. We're just providing the service there for people.
Okay.
So we hope they will help these merchants and purchase things from them. We're going to have outside games. There's going to be some hoop rolling. Now, we may not have the metal hoops they would have had from barrels, but I have some orange fluorescent hula hoops that might work. So we'll see how that happens. There's going to be hopscotch and maybe foursquare. I'm not sure. It depends on how much help we have. They're hoping to bring in some jacks. You remember playing jacks? Mm-hmm. Well, I was an expert in country school. Now I can't get the ball moved fast enough to do it. But it is a skill. You have to know the skill. And there's going to be, as I said, the hoops. And if Seth found them, there might be a watermelon seed spitting contest.
Oh.
We chose to do that rather than the cow pies.
I love that.
Thought that might have been more interesting, but probably a little better to do what we're doing.
You might end up with a watermelon patch.
Yeah, you never know. You never know. So inside, when you go into the ground level, the store will be open, and straight ahead into the ground level is the Herring Gallery, which is all Fairfield, Jefferson County history. If you have not been there, you will be amazed at what Fairfield has done since its beginning in 1839.
And even if you've been there, but it's been more than 2 weeks,
you
definitely want to go back.
Yeah, I know there's a new item there. I don't know if it's on display yet, so I won't spoil the surprise. Inside, if you go inside and you sign in, you'll be given a scavenger hunt card that when you sign it and complete it, you'll put it in a basket for a drawing that we have some prizes in a basket to be given to one person.
Nice.
And the scavenger hunt, you have to go to the third floor, maybe even the second floor. I'm not sure how they've got it lined up, to look at the exhibit, and somebody will be there to sign off that you've been there.
Oh, yes.
Initial it or whatever they've decided to do. I'm not in charge of all that stuff. I'm just a PR guy right now.
You do a great job.
By default. On the first floor of the second floor, I always get the floors mixed up. On the second floor, where Indian Hills is, there are going to be some artisans. There will be one of our local residents has done quite a bit of work with wood, so he will have some things on display that he's created. And I noticed one, it has the pegs. It's not nails. It's old-fashioned.
Oh,
and they're beautiful.
fabulous. Just
beautiful. Teresa is going to be doing some basket weaving. Reggie Cox is the one that's going to be there with the woodworking. Basket weaving will be Therese, going to be demonstrating that. I don't know the name of the person that's coming to do some leather demonstrations.
Oh, wow.
And then we also have a spinner coming.
Oh, how fun.
Yeah, and I'm talking about wool.
Yes.
Spinning wool. Not a... Okay.
Not a circus act.
Not a circus act, no. There will be an Iowa State Fair exhibit on that floor, I think is where they've put it because they didn't have room upstairs. And then if you go up to the third floor and continue your scavenger hunt, go to the exhibit where we have the Century Heritage Farm people. This month, it's the Flinchbaugh family.
Oh.
So that'll be a really good one. And there's updated exhibits. You know yourself, they change a lot. Some we're keeping the same, but some just are on a periodic change. And I always think of the person, one of the first business of after hours we had, left and said, I was here 40 years ago and it's still the same. I really would like to know who that person was because I'd like to invite them back and say, it's not that way anymore.
No, if you don't go about every 2 weeks, you're missing something.
You are. You really are. And Jake's always got something new going on.
Absolutely.
And of course, we have, there's a featured exhibit on industry in Fairfield. And there's a drugstore exhibit. There's exhibits about the Civil War, about the Underground Railroad. You have the Stevenson quilts. We still have the birds and mammals that were given to us by the Smithsonian back in the late 1800s, which started this museum going. And there is an exhibit called 100 Years Ago.
Oh, I'm excited. I haven't seen that one yet.
1823 to 1920. I'm going back 200. Good heavens. 1923. See, I've got so many things I could talk about, and my brain's working too fast here. Rich history. I've lived here all but 7 years of my entire life.
Wow.
And I am amazed at what I didn't know had happened.
Yep.
And it's still happening with entrepreneurship that we have in Fairfield.
Absolutely.
And some of the things that started here first, or things that happened that came from here that went to Antarctica. These kinds of things. And if you don't know what that is, come to the museum and find out. Come between 4 and 7 on Thursday, August 10th. Enjoy some food and beverage that will be available. And if you have any questions, there will be lots of people there. Both boards are going to be there. I'm from the foundation. We are the people who are a 501c3.
The fundraising
The
arm.
fundraising group and the Carnegie Museum Board are the people who are under the auspices of the city. And they do a lot of the day-by-day stuff. And we work closely together. And we found out how close we work together when Steve and I sat through the visioning session. Oh. We really are more on top of what we're both doing than we thought we were. So it's
the
awesome.
building is looking gorgeous, by the way.
Oh, yes. Well, I could give you a long story on that one too, but it's coming.
It's coming.
The bricks are here, but they have to be tinted. So they're waiting for the people that can do that. Southwest corner will be close to being completed when the bricks can be put in. The checkpointing is basically done. We're just waiting on the brick repair that needs to be done. We're meeting with the glass window company on Friday to finalize the colors because we need to see it rather than look at it online. Yep. And it's just amazing. The community has been so supportive. And I cannot say enough for Lee Gobble because he felt the museum was something to maintain. And
Absolutely.
So he left some remainder trust money for us to use.
I love that.
So we're making progress that we never thought we'd be able to do.
Fairfield's a great community. When somebody's got a need, I love the way that this community just comes together and supports it. The center's a perfect example. You guys put out a call that you needed some help, and you've had people just give.
Yeah. And it's brought, I wish I knew the exact figures, the number of people. We used to get maybe 30, 40 people a month, if that. It's 300 and more a month now.
Oh, for sure. And I heard that you broke whatever last year was by July this year.
Yeah.
So, well, Jake does a great job. I mean, you can go in there and say, Jake, I've got an hour, show me around. And he can go anywhere from a half an hour to all day, and you can learn so much stuff.
I have learned to tell him I have 5 minutes, and maybe 30 minutes later I get to leave. But he is a wealth of information, and he is a great promoter. And we have a lot to be thankful to have him as part of our staff.
Absolutely.
And what I think is great too, Mark Schaefer left information of what he wanted to do, projects he wanted to do, but he wasn't able to get them completed. We've got that list, and we have done several things. I shouldn't say we. Jake and Lawrence have done several of those projects and have worked towards finishing them. So, I love that. Okay, I think I'm done now.
All right, Mr.
I could
Bad
talk
Board
for
Member,
more.
we could go all day.
Well, and I also want to say, just in honor of Mark, here recently there was a gallery dedication up on the third floor, right?
That's right.
Yeah.
It's now called the Schaefer Gallery.
I love
and it's
that.
the area where Mark did most of his work.
By the
Sorry,
way,
yes, was.
the first Iowa State Fair here in Fairfield, 1854, had a budget of $323. And the second year, the legislature allocated $2,000 because it was such a roaring success. Now, here's what I found interesting. The entertainment featured the greatest impression on spectators was an exhibit of horseback riding women.
Yes.
10 performers wearing various colored ribbons competed for Lady Superior Gold Hunting and a Lady Superior Gold Hunting watch presented by Fair President. According to press releases, the contest was so exciting the first day, it had to be repeated the second day. Miss Belle Turner of Keokuk, the lady in the pink ribbon, had elegant form, a fine face, and soft blue eyes.
The soft blue eyes did it. That was
Soft.
blue ribbon, blue eyes.
Now, unfortunately, there will be no female
Horseback riding.
equestrian events Thursday,
No.
unless we can, well, I don't know.
Can we round up a fine-looking blue-eyed
I was
lady?
gonna say
don't
you.
know.
I was gonna say you, Gloria.
No. I have brown eyes. That's not going to
Okay,
work.
all right. Again, it's Thursday. Starts at 4:30. Invite you to.
No. Starts at 4.
4 to 7.
Oh, starts at
4 to
See, I
7.
told you I'm a bad board member.
Well, I just told him, but he has a short memory, too.
Yeah, exactly.
It's Monday.
It is Monday.
That's true. I'm surprised I remembered it.
Thursday, 4 o'clock, just half a block south. By the way, part of Court Street, South Court Street, south of Burlington Avenue, will be closed from the alley down to Washington, right?
That's right.
All right. So, all right.
Yay.
Anything else before we let you ladies go today?
Have a great day.
All right, Gloria.
Enjoy
I'll
your
see you-
week.
I'll see
We'll
you on Thursday.
See you Thursday.
All right.
Come prepared to work.
It is. That'll be an oddity for me. 5 minutes for the top of the hour. Look at the markets just around the corner here on KMCD.